What if you could face any storm unshaken? Imagine this. Life throws a curveball at you. Maybe it's a job loss that pulls the rug out from under you, leaving you questioning your worth. Or perhaps it's a broken relationship, the kind that leaves your heart heavy and your mind racing with what-ifs. Maybe it's subtler, just that gnawing feeling of doubt creeping in, whispering that you're not enough, that you're falling behind. We've all been there, haven't we? Those moments when the world feels like it's closing in, testing every ounce of your strength. But what if, instead of crumbling under the weight, you could stand tall, unshaken, with a mind so strong that no storm could knock you down? What if you could face life's chaos with a calm, steady resolve, turning challenges into opportunities to grow? Sounds impossible, right? Almost like a superpower reserved for the lucky few. But what if I told you there's a way of thinking, a philosophy forged over 2,000 years ago, that can give you that kind of mental armor? A way to not just survive life's toughest moments, but to thrive in them? Today, we're diving into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, not some dusty old theory locked away in ancient texts, but a practical, down-to-earth guide to building a life that's resilient, meaningful, and grounded. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending everything's fine when it's not. It's about equipping yourself with tools to navigate the messiness of life with clarity and purpose. It's about finding strength in the face of adversity, not by avoiding it, but by embracing it as a chance to become better, stronger, wiser, more compassionate. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll have a blueprint to transform how you face life's toughest moments, a roadmap to building a mental fortress that can weather any storm. Let's start with the heart of Stoicism. It's all about choice. Life is unpredictable. Jobs end, plans fail, people let you down. The Stoics, thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, understood this better than anyone. They lived in a world of wars, plagues, and political upheaval, yet they found a way to stay steady. Their secret? Focusing on what's within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your perspective, and letting go of the rest. That moment when you're stuck in traffic, fuming? You can't control the cars ahead, but you can control whether you let it ruin your day. That rejection email that stings? You can't control the decision, but you can choose to see it as a detour, not a dead end. This mindset shift is powerful. It's like handing yourself the reins to your own life, no matter what's happening around you. But Stoicism isn't just about staying calm, it's about growth. The Stoics saw every challenge as a teacher, every setback as a chance to practice virtues like patience, courage, and resilience. Lost your job? It's a test of your adaptability, a chance to rediscover what you're capable of. Facing fear? It's an invitation to lean into courage, to act despite the butterflies in your stomach. This isn't about ignoring pain or pretending it doesn't hurt. The Stoics felt deeply, they grieved, they struggled, but they refused to let those feelings define them. Instead, they asked, "What can this teach me? How can I use this to become better?" That's the alchemy of Stoicism, turning life's raw, messy moments into gold. Why does this matter today? Because we're not so different from the Stoics. Our challenges might look different, endless notifications, career pressures, the constant noise of comparison, but the core struggle is the same. How do you stay grounded in a world that's always shifting? Stoicism offers a way forward, a framework that's as relevant now as it was in ancient Rome. It's not about escaping life's storms, but learning to dance in the rain. It's about building a life where you're not just reacting, but choosing, deliberately, thoughtfully, powerfully. So, let's jump in. Let's explore how Stoicism can help you face doubt, fear, and frustration with a steady heart. Let's uncover practical tools to reframe challenges, build inner wealth, and create a life that's not just endured, but truly lived. This isn't just philosophy, it's a way to transform your mind, your choices, and your world. Ready? Let's dive into the Stoic way. The battles we all fight. Life's not always sunshine and rainbows, is it? We all face battles, some out in the world, sure, but the hardest ones? They're the ones inside our heads. Doubt that whispers you're not good enough. Fear that keeps you up at night, replaying worst-case scenarios. Frustration when things don't go your way, when plans crumble despite your best efforts. And sometimes, even despair, when it feels like the world's caving in, and you're left wondering if you can keep going. These aren't just fleeting feelings, they're opponents in the arena of your mind, and they can hit harder than any external challenge. harder than a tough boss, a financial setback, or a public failure. The internal struggles shape how we see the world and, more importantly, how we see ourselves. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers from Greece and Rome, understood this deeply. They lived in a world of chaos. Wars, political upheaval, disease, and death were constants. Yet, they didn't flinch. They knew life was brutal, unpredictable, and often unfair. But they also believed that how you respond to those challenges is what defines you. Not the challenge itself, whether it's a betrayal, a loss, or a moment of crushing disappointment, but your reaction to it. Think about that for a second. That moment when you're stuck in traffic, fuming, your blood pressure spiking over something you can't control. Or when you get that rejection email after pouring your heart into a project. Those moments don't have to own you. The Stoics taught that you can choose your response, and that choice is your superpower. It's not about suppressing emotions or pretending everything's fine. It's about recognizing that while you can't control the world, you can control your mind. So, what's the secret to facing life's inevitable struggles? It's about building a mindset that doesn't just survive the punches but thrives because of them. The Stoics weren't chasing an easy life filled with comfort and applause. They were after a meaningful one, rooted in virtue, resilience, and purpose. Their wisdom isn't some dusty philosophy locked in ancient scrolls. It's a practical toolkit you can use right now, today, to face whatever's coming your way, whether it's a personal crisis, a professional setback, or just the daily grind wearing you down. Let's break it down into some core Stoic principles that can help you navigate the battles within and without. First, embrace what you can control, and let go of what you can't. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. You can't control the weather, other people's opinions, or random strokes of bad luck. But you can control your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When you focus on what's within your grasp, you stop wasting energy on things that are out of your hands. That argument with a coworker? You can't control their words, but you can choose to respond with calm instead of anger. That missed opportunity? You can't undo the past, but you can decide to learn from it and keep moving forward. Second, reframe adversity as opportunity. The Stoics believed that obstacles are not just problems to endure but chances to grow. Seneca, another Stoic thinker, said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." When life throws a curveball, a job loss, a health scare, or a personal failure, it's tempting to spiral into self-pity or resentment. But what if you saw it as training? Each challenge is a chance to practice patience, courage, or humility. That rejection email? It's not a verdict on your worth. It's a prompt to refine your skills or explore new paths. This isn't about toxic positivity or ignoring pain. It's about finding purpose in the struggle. Third, practice negative visualization. Sounds grim, but hear me out. The Stoics used a technique called premeditatio malorum, or imagining potential setbacks before they happen. This isn't about dwelling on doom and gloom. It's about preparing your mind. By mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios, losing your job, facing a tough conversation, or even just a bad day, you strip fear of its power. You realize that even if the worst happens, you can handle it. This practice builds resilience and keeps you grounded when life feels overwhelming. Finally, cultivate gratitude for what you have. The Stoics reminded themselves constantly that everything, health, wealth, relationships, is temporary. Instead of obsessing over what's missing, they focused on appreciating what's present. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Try this. At the end of each day, name 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand. Maybe it's a warm meal, a kind word, or just the fact that you made it through. This shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, making life's battles feel less daunting. These Stoic principles aren't magic fixes. They take practice, especially when emotions run high or life feels like it's piling on. But that's the point. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, one choice at a time. The Stoics didn't promise a life free of pain or hardship. They offered something better, a way to face those hardships with clarity, strength, and purpose. So the next time doubt creeps in, or fear tightens its grip, or frustration threatens to derail you, remember, you're not just fighting a battle. You're training to become the person who can handle anything. And that's a victory worth fighting for. Seeing challenges as teachers. Life's challenges can feel like a gauntlet: flat tires, arguments, missed deadlines, or days when everything seems to go wrong. It's tempting to lose your cool, to let frustration or anger take over. But the Stoics, ancient philosophers from Greece and Rome, offered a transformative idea: every challenge is a teacher. That flat tire on your way to an interview? That argument with a friend? They're not just obstacles to curse, they're opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more patient. It's all about perspective, and by shifting how you view these moments, you can turn setbacks into stepping stones. Imagine you're having a rough day. Maybe you overslept, spilled coffee on your shirt, and then got a curt email from your boss. Your instinct might be to curse the universe or spiral into self-pity. The Stoics would say, pause. Instead of seeing this day as a curse, ask, what's this trying to teach me? Maybe it's patience when you're stuck in a long line. Maybe it's resilience when a plan falls apart. Or maybe it's courage when you need to have a tough conversation. This isn't about pretending everything's fine or suppressing your feelings. It's about flipping the script so every tough moment becomes a chance to level up. Here's how to put it into practice. Start with perception. When things go south, don't react on autopilot. Take a deep breath and ask, what's in my control here? The Stoics emphasized the dichotomy of control, focusing only on what you can influence: your thoughts, actions, and attitude. You can't control the weather, a coworker's mood, or a delayed flight, but you can control how you respond. That's your power. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, you can't undo their action, but you can choose to stay calm instead of honking in rage. This approach doesn't mean ignoring emotions. The Stoics weren't emotionless robots. They felt anger, sadness, and fear, just like us. But they believed in channeling those emotions constructively, so they serve you rather than derail you. When life throws a wrench in your plans, don't just react, reflect. What's this moment asking of you? Is it a chance to practice forgiveness after a friend's harsh words? Or to build discipline by sticking to your goals despite a setback? By viewing challenges as lessons, you transform them into opportunities to become a better version of yourself. The Stoic way takes practice. It's not about perfection but progress. Next time you face a hurdle, whether it's a minor annoyance or a major crisis, pause, breathe, and reframe. Ask what you can control and what you can learn. This mindset doesn't make life easier, but it makes you stronger. Every challenge becomes a teacher, and every struggle a chance to grow. That's how you face life's ups and downs without losing your cool, and come out wiser on the other side. Wealth isn't what you think. When you hear the word wealth, what comes to mind? A bulging bank account? A sleek sports car? A sprawling mansion? Society bombards us with the idea that wealth equals stuff, tangible things to buy, flaunt, and accumulate. But the Stoics, those ancient Greek and Roman philosophers, saw through this illusion. To them, true wealth isn't measured by what's in your wallet, it's about what's in your mind. Real riches lie in wisdom, creativity, and character, not in fleeting possessions. Consider history's most influential figures. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, didn't shape the world because he hoarded gold or owned lavish palaces. His legacy endures through his ideas, timeless insights on living with virtue, resilience, and purpose. The Stoics believed the richest person isn't the one with the most toys, but the one who cultivates a mind brimming with clarity, insight, and integrity. This kind of wealth doesn't rust, fade, or crash in a market downturn. It grows stronger with time. So, how do you build this Stoic wealth? It starts with a shift in focus. Stop chasing things that vanish: money, status, the latest gadgets, and pursue what lasts: ideas, understanding, and impact. Ask yourself, are you merely consuming, endlessly scrolling through life, or are you creating? Are you thinking critically, tackling problems, or devising ways to make a difference? The Stoics would urge you to nurture your mind, to prioritize curiosity over distraction. Read deeply, question boldly, and reflect on what truly matters. These habits forge a richness no bank balance can match. This doesn't mean money is evil or irrelevant. The Stoics weren't naive. They saw money as a tool, useful for meeting needs and enabling action. but they warned against making it the goal. When wealth becomes your aim, you risk becoming a slave to it, always chasing more, never satisfied. Instead, let purpose guide you. Use money to support a life of meaning, not to define it. The real prize is a life where your ideas and actions leave a mark, not just on your own path, but on the world around you. Imagine living in a way that inspires others, not because of what you own, but because of how you think and act. Picture a legacy built on kindness, problem-solving, or bold ideas that spark change. That's the Stoic vision of wealth, accessible to anyone, regardless of their paycheck. You don't need a fortune to start. You need only the courage to value your mind over your possessions. Building this wealth takes practice. Pause daily to reflect. What did I learn today? How did I grow? Choose one small action. Read a challenging book, solve a problem creatively, or help someone selflessly, and let these moments compound. Over time, you'll amass a fortune of wisdom and impact. That's the Stoic way, a life rich in purpose, where your inner wealth shines brighter than any external display. Carving your own path. Ever feel like you're just following someone else's script? Like you're living a life shaped by society, family, or expectations rather than your own desires? The Stoics, those ancient Greek and Roman philosophers, would urge you to break free. Life's too short to drift down a path that doesn't resonate with who you are. Their core teaching is about seizing control and crafting a life aligned with your values and authentic self. It all begins with self-awareness. Pause and ask the big questions. Why are you doing what you're doing? Does your job, lifestyle, or daily routine spark joy and purpose, or are you just checking boxes because it's what's expected? The Stoics championed living with intention, not mindlessly following the crowd. They'd push you to dig deep and uncover what truly matters to you, not what the world, social media, or even loved ones say should matter. Maybe it's creativity over a corner office, or time with family over chasing status. This clarity is your compass. Once you've glimpsed your truth, it's time to act, and yes, this takes courage. Carving your own path often means making bold, unconventional choices. It could be leaving a secure job to pursue a passion, downsizing to live more simply, or saying no to a lifestyle that feels hollow. The Stoics knew this kind of bravery isn't easy. Defying expectations might raise eyebrows or spark criticism, but they'd remind you that your worth isn't tied to others' opinions. It's rooted in your actions and character. As Epictetus said, you become what you give your attention to. Focus on what aligns with your values, and let the noise fade. The beauty of this approach is that you don't need all the answers up front. The Stoics saw life as a journey of growth, where you're constantly learning, adapting, and refining your path. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Start small. Take one step toward a life that feels more you. Maybe it's signing up for a class that excites you, setting boundaries to protect your time, or volunteering for a cause you care about. Each step, no matter how modest, is a victory, building a path that's uniquely yours. Here's the deeper layer. Creating your own path isn't just about personal fulfillment. The Stoics believed a good life extends beyond the self, uplifting others too. As you shape your journey, consider how you can contribute to your community, your loved ones, or the world. Maybe it's mentoring someone, sharing your skills, or advocating for change. This outward focus amplifies your impact, creating ripples that inspire and elevate those around you. Living authentically takes practice and grit, but the Stoics would say it's the only life worth living. Reflect on what drives you, act with courage, and contribute meaningfully. Step by step, you'll craft a life that's not just yours, but one that matters. Embracing the inevitability of change. Change is the one constant in life you can bank on. Jobs shift, relationships morph, plans unravel, and even the weather can flip in an instant. For most of us, change feels like a jolt, unsettling, uncomfortable, sometimes downright scary. But the Stoics, those ancient Greek and Roman philosophers, saw it differently. They embraced change as the pulse of existence, not something to resist but a force to harness. Their wisdom teaches us not just to survive life's shifts but to thrive in them, turning uncertainty into opportunity. The Stoic secret lies in a deceptively simple idea: focus on what you can control. This principle, known as the dichotomy of control, is a mental lifeline. You can't control the economy, someone else's choices, or a sudden downpour on your wedding day. But you can control your response, your attitude, your actions, your perspective. When change strikes, pause and ask, what's in my power right now? Maybe it's choosing optimism despite a setback, taking a small step forward, or reframing a loss as a lesson. By zeroing in on these, you reclaim your agency, no matter how chaotic the circumstances. Imagine a cliff standing firm against pounding waves, unshaken, resolute, yet shaped by the elements. That's the Stoic ideal, an inner steadiness that weathers any storm. This isn't about being rigid or suppressing emotions. It's about cultivating a calm center that lets you adapt without breaking. When change hits, a layoff, a breakup, an unexpected detour, don't burn energy fighting what's beyond your control. Instead, channel it into what you can influence: your mindset, your next move, your values. This shift transforms change from an enemy into a teacher. Practically, thriving in change means staying adaptable and self-aware. The Stoics practiced daily reflection, like a mental tune-up to keep their compass steady. They'd ask, am I reacting on impulse or responding with intention? Are my choices aligned with my core principles? This habit helps you navigate change with clarity. For example, if a project falls apart, instead of spiraling, reflect, what can I learn? How can I grow? This turns disruption into a chance to sharpen your resilience and character. The Stoics also saw change as universal. Nothing is exempt, not even the stars. Accepting this impermanence frees you from clinging to the illusion of stability. A job loss isn't just a crisis, it's a nudge to explore new paths. A shifting relationship isn't just loss, it's space for growth. By embracing change as life's rhythm, you stop seeing it as a threat. Each shift becomes a forge, shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, more adaptable. Thriving in change takes practice, but it's empowering. When life pivots, pause, filter what you can control, and act with purpose. Reflect daily to stay grounded. Let change sculpt you, not scare you. That's the Stoic way, not just enduring life's waves, but riding them with grace and strength. Building a vision that lasts. If you don't know where you're going, how do you know when you've arrived? The Stoics, those ancient philosophers of Greece and Rome, stressed the importance of a clear vision, a guiding purpose that anchors you through life's turbulence. Without it, you're like a ship without a rudder, adrift and swayed by every storm. With a vision, you gain direction, a steady compass to navigate even the roughest seas. So, how do you craft this vision? It starts with introspection. Ask yourself, what truly matters to you? Not what society glorifies, not what family or friends expect, but what ignites your soul. Maybe it's a thirst for lifelong learning, creating art that endures, or strengthening your community. Your vision doesn't need to be world-changing, it just needs to be authentic. The Stoics would urge you to strip away external noise and listen to your inner voice. What legacy do you want to leave? What kind of person do you want to become? This clarity becomes your North Star. Once you've defined your vision, align your life with it. The Stoics were fiercely practical, advocating for small, deliberate steps over lofty daydreams. Want to embody kindness? Perform one thoughtful act today, a smile, a helping hand. Aspire to master a craft? Dedicate 10 minutes daily to practice. Each action, no matter how modest, is a brick in the foundation of your vision. These steps compound, turning abstract ideals into tangible reality. The Stoics believed that progress, not perfection, is the goal. Consistent effort shapes who you are. Here's the Stoic twist: your vision must be adaptable. Life is unpredictable. Setbacks, failures, and surprises are inevitable. The Stoics didn't shy away from this, they leaned in. They practiced premeditatio malorum, mentally rehearsing potential obstacles to prepare for them. This isn't pessimism but pragmatism. Visualize the challenges: a job loss, a health scare, a missed opportunity, and imagine how you'll respond with resilience and grace. This mental prep builds toughness, ensuring that when life veers off course, you adjust your sails and keep moving toward your goal. Action is the heartbeat of this process. The Stoics had no patience for idle wishing. They saw every choice, habit, and moment as a chance to build toward your vision. Skip the temptation to wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Say no to distractions that pull you off course. Cultivate habits that reflect your values. It's not about reaching a final destination, the Stoics viewed life as a journey of growth. The real magic lies in who you become along the way, wiser, stronger, more aligned with your purpose. A Stoic vision gives you clarity and resilience. Define what matters, take small steps, prepare for obstacles, and act consistently. Each move forward is a triumph, crafting a life that's not just lived, but truly yours, a journey worth taking. The power of looking inward. Ever carve out a quiet moment to sit with your thoughts? No phone, no rush, just you and your mind? The Stoics, those ancient Greek and Roman philosophers, saw this practice of self-reflection as essential, like a workout for your soul. It's not about dwelling on flaws or chasing perfection, but about understanding who you are and how you're navigating life. This inward gaze builds clarity, growth, and resilience, helping you become the person you aspire to be. The Stoics practiced a ritual often called the evening review, and it's simple yet powerful. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to replay your experiences. What went well? Maybe you stayed calm during a heated meeting or helped a stranger. Celebrate those wins. Where did you stumble? Perhaps you snapped at a friend in a moment of stress or procrastinated on a goal. Don't judge yourself harshly. Instead, ask why it happened and what you can learn. Was it fatigue, fear, or a misaligned priority? This reflection turns moments of weakness into stepping stones for growth. The goal isn't to obsess over mistakes, but to evolve. The Stoics believed in striving to be better than you were yesterday, not better than someone else. Comparing yourself to others is a trap. It breeds envy and distraction. Instead, focus on your own path, your own progress. Each day offers a fresh chance to refine your habits, adjust your mindset, and inch closer to your ideal self. Maybe you notice you're quick to anger. Tomorrow, practice pausing before you speak. Small tweaks like these, rooted in reflection, compound into profound change. Self-reflection also fosters self-acceptance. The Stoics knew nobody's perfect. Growth is messy, often uncomfortable. That discomfort signals you're confronting hard truths, pushing past complacency. Embrace it. Ask the tough questions. What drives my choices? Am I living by my values, like integrity or kindness? If you value courage but shy away from tough conversations, reflection highlights the gap and nudges you to act. This honesty isn't easy, but it's the fuel for lasting transformation. To make it practical, set aside 5 minutes before bed. Find a quiet space, maybe with a notebook. Review your day. What actions aligned with your values? Where did you fall short, and why? What's one thing you'll do differently tomorrow? This isn't a guilt trip, it's a dialogue with yourself, like a coach guiding an athlete. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, used this practice to stay grounded, even amidst chaos. He wrote to himself, questioning his motives and actions, always aiming for virtue. Self-reflection builds a life of intention. It's not about being flawless, but about being aware, adaptable, and committed to growth. Lean into the discomfort, celebrate your progress, and keep asking the hard questions. Day by day, you'll sculpt a stronger, truer version of yourself, the Stoic way. Turning adversity into strength. Life can be relentless, can't it? Sometimes it feels like a barrage of setbacks, rejections, failures, losses, one after another. The instinct to retreat, to curl up and shut out the world, is strong. But the Stoics, those ancient Greek and Roman philosophers, saw adversity through a different lens. To them, every hardship was a chance to practice virtues like patience, courage, and resilience. Life hands you a weight, and you choose. Drop it or lift it, letting it strengthen you. Think of a tough moment in your life. Maybe you lost a job, a relationship crumbled, or a dream fell apart. The Stoics wouldn't tell you to just grit your teeth and bear it. They'd urge you to use it. How? By pausing to ask, what can I learn here? A rejection might teach you perseverance, showing you how to keep going despite closed doors. An injustice could ignite your sense of fairness, pushing you to advocate for what's right. Even a personal struggle, like grief or self-doubt, can become a wellspring of empathy or inspiration if you approach it with intention. Adversity, in the Stoic view, isn't just an obstacle, it's a teacher. This doesn't mean denying pain. The Stoics weren't emotionless. They felt loss, anger, and sorrow deeply. But they refused to let those feelings define them. They practiced a kind of mental detachment, not from caring about life, but from being consumed by what they couldn't control. This is the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control. Focus on what's in your power, your response, your attitude, your next step, and let go of the rest. That job loss? You can't undo it, but you can choose to network, upskill, or pivot. That heartbreak? You can't force someone's feelings, but you can nurture your own growth. This clarity lets you face adversity with a steady mind, turning trials into opportunities for triumph. One practical Stoic tool is reflection, often through journaling or quiet contemplation. At day's end, revisit your challenges, not to dwell on the pain, but to mine it for wisdom. What did that tough moment reveal about your strengths or weaknesses? Did you stay calm under pressure, or lash out in frustration? How can you use this to grow? For example, if a conflict exposed your impatience, you might resolve to practice pausing before reacting. By reflecting, you extract lessons from hardship, transforming it into fuel for a wiser, stronger version of yourself. The Stoics knew life's blows are inevitable, but they believed you could alchemize them into virtues. Each challenge is a chance to practice courage, to hone resilience, to deepen understanding. Don't just survive adversity, let it sculpt you. Reflect, learn, and act with intention. That's the Stoic way, not hiding from life's weights, but lifting them to build a character that endures. Leading by example. Leadership is a weighty term, often misunderstood as the pursuit of authority or the ability to command a room. Yet, for the Stoics, ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, leadership was far more profound and personal. It wasn't about issuing orders or amassing power, it was about mastering oneself. True leadership, in their view, begins with self-discipline, emotional resilience, and deliberate choices. Only by leading yourself can you inspire others to follow. Imagine a leader who remains calm amidst chaos, their composure a quiet anchor in the storm. Picture someone who listens intently before speaking, weighing their words with care. Envision a person who acts with unwavering integrity, even when the easier path tempts them. This is the Stoic ideal of leadership, a figure who embodies wisdom, courage, and fairness. The Stoics believed that the most powerful way to influence others is not through force or manipulation, but through the silent strength of your own example. When you live virtuously, others are drawn to emulate you, not because you demand their loyalty, but because they see something worthy of aspiration. At its core, Stoic leadership is about service, not self-interest. The Stoics would challenge a leader to ask, how can I uplift those around me? How can I strengthen my team, my family, or my community? Leadership isn't measured by titles, accolades, or personal gain, it's measured by impact. Whether you're guiding a corporation, nurturing a household, or simply navigating your own life, the focus should be on what you contribute, not what you extract. A Stoic leader seeks to empower others, fostering growth and resilience in those they serve. They understand that true influence lies in enabling others to flourish. Effective communication is a cornerstone of this philosophy. A Stoic leader speaks with clarity and purpose, choosing words that inspire and unite. More importantly, they listen, truly listen, seeking to understand before responding. This empathetic engagement builds trust and fosters collaboration. Such a leader is also adaptable, maintaining equanimity in the face of uncertainty or upheaval. They don't cling to rigid plans but adjust with grace, guided by reason and principle. Yet, Stoic leadership is not a destination, it's a practice. It demands constant self-reflection and a commitment to growth. A Stoic leader is a lifelong learner, unafraid to confront their flaws and eager to refine their character. They embrace challenges as opportunities to practice virtue, knowing that each moment tests and strengthens their resolve. This relentless pursuit of self-betterment doesn't just transform the leader, it transforms those around them. In a world that often equates leadership with dominance or charisma, the Stoic approach offers a timeless alternative. It's leadership rooted in humility, purpose, and service. By mastering yourself and living with integrity, you don't just lead, you inspire. You create a ripple effect that changes lives, one principled action at a time. The journey is the reward. The Stoics, those ancient sages like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, offered a timeless truth. Life is a journey, not a destination. They rejected the notion of chasing a flawless, trouble-free future, urging us instead to find meaning in every moment, every challenge, every choice. For them, the true reward lies not in what you achieve, titles, wealth, or accolades, but in who you become through the process. It's about cultivating wisdom, resilience, and virtue with each step you take. Pause and reflect on your own journey. Consider the peaks of triumph, the valleys of struggle, and the quiet moments in between. Each experience, whether joyful or painful, has shaped you. The Stoics would encourage you to look back, not to dwell or regret, but to learn. What did that heartbreaking breakup teach you about your own strength? How did that fleeting moment of pure happiness reveal what truly matters to you? Every success, every failure, every tear, and every laugh is a thread in the tapestry of your character. These moments aren't just events, they're lessons, forging you into who you are today. This reflection isn't meant to be a solitary act. The Stoics believed that living well is a beacon for others, and sharing your story is a powerful way to connect. Speak openly about what you've learned, what you've overcome, and even what still challenges you. Not to boast or seek pity, but to offer perspective. Your journey, complete with its imperfections and hard-won insights, can inspire someone else navigating their own path. By being vulnerable, you show that growth is possible, that setbacks are not the end but a chance to begin anew. In this way, your story becomes a gift, a reminder that we're all works in progress, striving to live with purpose. The Stoics also understood the impermanence of life. Nothing, success, sorrow, joy, lasts forever. This truth isn't meant to sadden but to liberate. Knowing that each moment is fleeting fosters a deep gratitude for the present. Whether you're in a season of abundance or adversity, embrace it fully but hold it lightly. Let it teach you while it's here, knowing it will soon pass. That difficult job, that cherished friendship, that quiet evening alone, they're all temporary, yet each carries a lesson if you're willing to listen. To live as a Stoic is to walk your path with intention, to see every experience as an opportunity to grow. It's about finding joy in the effort, not just the outcome, and sharing that wisdom with others. So, take stock of where you are right now. Honor your journey, with all its twists and turns. Let it shape you, guide you, and inspire those around you. In the end, it's not about reaching some perfect destination. It's about becoming a better version of yourself, one moment at a time. Embracing the Stoic life, a path to resilience and purpose. Here we stand, having journeyed through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that's not just a collection of ideas but a blueprint for living with courage, clarity, and purpose. From seeing challenges as teachers to building wealth and wisdom, from forging your own path to embracing change, the Stoics offer us a way to navigate life's complexities with strength and grace. This isn't abstract theory. It's a practical, transformative way of life that equips us to face the world head-on. The Stoics, thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, never promised a life free of hardship. They knew that existence is full of unexpected blows, moments that test our resolve, shake our plans, and push us to our limits. But they also gave us tools to stand firm, the ability to choose reason over reaction, resilience over despair, and action over paralysis. These tools don't shield us from pain, they empower us to grow through it. Every time you face a setback with composure, every moment you choose wisdom over worry, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're sculpting a version of yourself that's stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your deepest values. Living the Stoic way means embracing every challenge as an opportunity. A missed opportunity becomes a lesson in patience. A personal failure transforms into a chance to refine your character. Change, though unsettling, is a canvas for growth. With each deliberate step, each choice to act with integrity, to reflect on your actions, to learn from your struggles, you build a life that's not just good, but great. This is the Stoic promise, not an easy road, but a meaningful one, where the journey itself shapes you into someone extraordinary. Reflection is key to this path. Take time to look back on your days, not to dwell on mistakes but to glean insights. What did that argument teach you about empathy? How did that moment of triumph reveal your capacity for perseverance? Share these lessons with others, not to boast, but to inspire. The Stoics believed that living well is contagious. Your courage and clarity can light the way for someone else. By being open about your growth, you create a ripple effect, fostering resilience and purpose in your community. So, keep walking this Stoic path. Stay curious, always seeking to understand yourself and the world more deeply. Stay strong, knowing that every obstacle is a chance to practice virtue. And keep growing, because the Stoic life is one of constant evolution. If these ideas resonate with you, consider joining a community of like-minded seekers. Hit that subscribe button, and let's continue exploring how to live with virtue and resilience together. Until next time, face each moment with intention, embrace every challenge as a teacher, and build a life that reflects the very best of who you can be.